Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here, and today we're looking back on the year that was the year that Rust turned 10. But how much do you remember? Hang on a minute. 10 years of flying? Wait, when did the minicopter come in? February 2019? That's not even 5 years. Oh, I know. They must mean fly hacks. Okay, 10 years of cheating. Actually, that's a lie. The industrial crafting update went live for testing on the staging branch, and there was trust in Rust on the 15th, but as for actual released content, nah. Blame it on December and that weird practice of letting people have time off for good behaviour. This is incidentally the same reason as to why a lot of fish and chip shops are closed on a Monday. Stupid battered sausage farmers and their Sundays off. And we're off. Testing of the industrial crafting system was satisfactory and nobody died. Now a completely new age of automation was unleashed on Rust for free, making crafting and storage more efficient while simultaneously giving you even more things to sort out, build and keep track of. Oh, and we got an electric furnace that should really have introduced tier 2 cooking, but apparently pots, pans and baking trays don't exist in this world. Happis Island was retired again. Poor old Happis, but don't you dare say this is the end. No one's ever really gone. Plus, there was the idea to have another map making competition, but more on that later. A hack week happened in February, and things being worked on included a mannequin for clothing displays, or should I say decoys, because that's all it'll be used for, a backpack, a breadboard for advanced circuitry, a skin viewer, ray tracing, a slingshot, and a caldera biome, none of which actually went anywhere, although the backpack is still a possibility. And we had a ton of client performance analytics, with some people apparently still playing on Windows 8.1. Legends! The Eye in the Sky update landed in March, which should really have been called the Remote Control update, because apart from player-made drones, subject to range, PTZ security cameras and player-controlled turrets, we also got RF detonated C4, and thus another fine plugin was poached. I mean, made redundant. There was also the release of CCTV in Rust Plus, which looked like Doom trying to run on a digital thermometer. Oh, and vending machines changed to drop 50% of their loot instead of none. Saddle up, and then saddle up again. Duo's got a buff, and horses everywhere complained with the introduction of double horse saddles. However, larger teams got their own buff to offset this with a massive upgrade to map markers with customizable icons, colours and labels. Not only but also pinging things with bins, drones and CCTV was added. There were a few new world models, and you could now finally place doors on top of deployables. What a time to be alive! Also, somehow, Happis returned in the form of a community-made replacement. The true meaning of Rust next, but first, would you like to play Rust on mobile for some truly portable suffering? Well, thanks to this video's sponsor, you can! This is Backbone, a special tool that transforms your phone into a handheld console, and it's dead easy. 1. Remove from box. 2. Stretch. And finally, 3. Snap to the Apple or Android phone of your choice. Say goodbye to jammy fingerprints all over the screen and your fat sausage fingers getting in the way of the action and UI, and say hello to pure liquid responsiveness and gaming fun. Play all your favourite mobile games or remote play with Steam Link from whichever part of the house you happen to be lounging in, because why should an hour-long poo stop you from defending your base? No excuses now. With a Backbone Plus subscription, you can also get the Backbone app, which lets you organise all your games in one place and take advantage of a shed load of special features, apps, perks, discounts, cloud storage, recording, streaming and much more. You can even plug in headphones and charge a device whilst playing for uninterrupted gaming. This thing is loaded with features, and if you're holding a phone right now, you can scan the QR code on screen or use the link in the description to go to playbackbone.com and get your very own. Back to the video. Repopulation Unit Survival Test. In May, we found out that Rust was an acronym, and to give us an insight into what that involves, a brand new monument was inserted into the geography, along with a more satisfying way to wipe. The nuclear missile silo arrived this month, along with a new flavour of scientist. At the bottom was a countdown to finally answer the age-old question of when is whip? And as the timer enters the last 24 hours, F-15s and Bradleys appear to spice things up for the 3 people left on the server at this point. Just don't look at the flight flyby is too close. More like Spud Gun than Top Gun. Thompson's MP5's got a big buff, and the first ever building skin, Adobe, landed as this month's
DLC of the month.
More world models for ammo and animated recyclers happened, and another hack week was undertaken with more work on the Caldera biome, an AI test arena, weapon charms, chat emojis, and an in-game Rust handheld, which somehow looks a lot more appealing to play than Rust itself, and another round of Twitch rivals arrived. The Bags to Battles update this month was so called because the radical decision was made to limit the number of active sleeping bags per player. Another
DLC of the month
arrived with the shipping container building skin for sheet metal, with the added feature of being able to colour your base to look like a clown's trousers. We also got a new building upgrade effect, which reminds me of something I've seen elsewhere. Can't think what. And there was another round of Twitch drops supporting Bellum. Yar, the deep sea update splashed down this month with that bigger boat you ordered, sir. And not just a boat, but a floating base/Zerg transportation system of sorts. Another new monument started taking up space, the ferry terminal, which will actually start ferrying things when the Nexus system arrives, whenever that is. And this month's
DLC of... sorry, I can't keep doing this. There's DLC every month now, basically. So there you go.
Anyway, this month it was the Abyss pack, with a Hazy skin and some salty tools, including a waterproof torch. Part of the ship, part of the crew. And talking of water, the sea got a complete redo with sexy new waves and 100% more briny wetness. Chat emojis arrived this month as the thing to come out of the Hack Week efforts, and the safest choice, one would think, apart from having to be nerfed soon afterwards by having the skin colour options removed. Can't think why. The DLC this month was the brick building skin, which let you capture the beauty and elegance of every single new UK housing estate. If you know, you know. And other highlights being conditional models for ammo, and a first look at weapon racks. After the sea got a glow up, the Airborne patch officially got Airborne. First up, a player attack chopper for 2, packed to the rotors with features like a turret, which you can put a trumpet into, rocket pods, and flares, which are a countermeasure against the new countermeasure of a homing missile launcher. And if those don't work, then the new parachutes might be your next best option. Not only, but also we got armoured hot air balloons and global network bases, so we could see player-made obstacles across the map. And this month's DLC was the weapon rack pack. October's building skin was Brutalist and was changed late on to be a stone skin instead of top tier, which was probably the best move, but cemented the building skin choices out there as being quite stone heavy, sadly. Maybe that'll be something that gets addressed next year. Turrets were nerfed somewhat by limiting you to only 12 active ones in your base at any one time. SMGs got a major set of buffs. Weather got a lot worse, or better, depending on how you like it, with bad weather happening more frequently. TCs were upgraded with a better layout. We found out that vampires do have reflections, and we got a sneak peek of work on Tutorial Island. We also had Charitable Rust, which managed to raise over $300,000 dues. In November, the above and below ground rail networks were finally linked up into one glorious plate of spaghetti with upgraded signals. The DLC was the Frontier Decor Pack, which gave us such wonders as new planters, storage barrels, wanted posters, and the ability to mount a lot of things on your walls, including weapons, friends, enemies, torches, and even some fishy distractions. Still waiting to be able to rig these up to an alarm system. There was a wire tool rework to make it easier to wire up larger runs, and items wouldn't drop through vehicles. The result of the apparently stealthy custom map competition mentioned earlier was a new map called Observer Island, which had a lot of new features and custom monuments and was hosted on some official servers. And there was another hack week, and the team were let loose to work on whatever they wanted, which this time included the idea of voxel raiding, which could see your bases being blown up and repaired in even smaller chunks. And as well as this, we saw a gamma gotchi concept and a programmable chip for creating complex circuitry. And so we came to the end of another year, but as this was double digits time, we were treated to some nostalgic nibbles, for those who were there at the beginning of it all, that is. The legacy wood shelter started littering the landscape, our furnaces got an older, chunkier brother, and a new rare Benelli shotgun arrived. The legacy bow skin went on sale, and the major DLC was the last building skin of the year, Legacy Wood. Actually, No, there was another. We had a seasonal gingerbread skin too. Perfect for trap bases if you ask me. And not only but also we had even more new items in the shape of a confetti cannon and a piñata to smack about. There was a big shake up to sign painting with a load more features. Another round of Twitch rivals happened along with support a streamer on Twitch. The hardcore game mode and Baron maps were both retired. But to make up for it, yet another new community Happis map returned until March next year, and this one harked all the way back to 2018. Ah, the good old days. Well, that, as they say, is a wrap. 2023 was a big year, and I like to think we ended it with a lot more stuff than we started with, which may or may not be a good thing depending on how you feel. We were reminded of Rust's humble, simple beginnings, and our nostalgia was tickled for that, but the game's changed so much and has become so complex as a result that it's really not the same animal anymore. Yes, this year saw the arrival of an armada of DLC, and it seems this is the pattern of things to come, but let's not forget the enormous amount of totally free content that came with it each month. Thanks, Facepunch. Facepunch. Let me know what your thoughts were regarding 2023 in the comments below. What were the highs and lows for you, and for what comes next? Well, look out for a vid in the new year from me as I'll be trawling through all the things that we hopefully have to look forward to. Like and sub if you enjoyed, and consider following me on Twitch, my socials, and my Steam group, and support me on Patreon or via YouTube memberships and super thanks. All links can be found down below. I shall catch you all soon, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio. 10 years of cheating.